What's good, YouTube land? Weird Collector here. I've got something just a little bit special to me, at least. It's Bionicle! So we're going to do a bit of a build video for this one, because it's all in pieces there. You can hear it. Made by... Bionicle's special to me because I grew up with the Bionicles, at least. Came out in 2001, so I was, well, it says 7+ on the box. I think I was 8 at the time, so it was right in that range of it appealed to me, and plus my mother bought them for me. So this is a Rahkshi, which is from, I think, the 3rd or 4th set. It was from 2003, so a couple years into it, because they first started with like bipedal action figures that had a whole lore of... it's hard to make a long story short, because it is a long story. But they're basically warriors representing different tribes of this island. And they each have a power over a certain element. So you had red for fire, blue for water, green for air. I kept thinking it was grass, but it's actually air. It would make more sense to be like grass type, green. If we're going by Pokemon logic, being color, white for ice, black for stone, and brown for earth. So there was the starting set of 6 of them, and you could just quickly build one. They came in canisters like this. I have vivid memories of running up to my room from after going to the toy store and just cracking open the can. I think I said crapping. Cracking open the can and pouring it out and like either missing pieces or not having too many pieces. But they then released the next wave. They did the same guys, but a slightly new form due to the lore, what was happening in the actual story, with like new armor and new weapons. And then they released an enemy called the Bow, which were kind of sort of took elements from, I'd say, Alien and the Borg, because they're parasitic and they run like a hive, but they also have a thing, the parasitic thing that basically once it hits you, it assimilates you to join, like, be a puppet under the queen. And then after that they released these guys, the Rahkshi. This is one of them. This is Turahk, whose apparently his ability is to create fear with his staff. There's one that can create poison, but his staff has to come in contact. One who induces anger. This guy's fear. I forget the rest of them, but the body itself is a mech suit for, I don't know how well. I'm going to zoom in for a second on the package. Whee! Right there, it's a little parasite that's inside the body that's acting as like the actual intelligent being. And I might as well we'll look at the cover, the art. I believe it's on either side of Turahk. I think it's the Mask of Light and probably the Mask of Darkness. Like the main good guy, like basically the Mask of Lightness is sort of the deity, like the physical representation of a deity, and the Mask of Darkness is his opposite. It's, you know, as it works. So, just gonna get open. It's supposed to just, like, you're supposed to just be able to peel off the little tape. There we go. Yep. Peel that off. Yeah. There you go. Piece of tape. Piece of tape. So much tape. Bottle of tape. There's a little bit more, but we'll deal with that. And then pop the lid. And it all comes falling out. And you've got a little presentation tray right there, along with an instruction booklet with a link to Bionicle.com, which is now, the website no longer exists. But there's also...
Defunct is the term.
What?
Defunct is the term.
Yes. There's also pictures of all 6 of them on the back, along with instructions and things on how to build it. Also, an actually in-color shot of the Mask of Light and the Mask of Darkness. So, this is a thing that's happening. So,
the light side and dark side of the Force, represented by derpy Yoda and Darth Vader. Plushies. This is what happens when you record a video at my place.
I know. And there's also this little booklet thing.
So basically all that I'm hearing is that these things are like, they're supposed to be Lego, but they're also Power Rangers, ROM Space Knight, the green, yellow, red lantern core things.
Comes with a little cartoon strip. So it's actually, it has multiple sides.
So it's
just their
basically
names.
just like 90s tropes, late 90s, early 2000s elemental power-up tropes.
So it's them basically hitting things with their staffs. There's one shot of him fighting a Toa. Oh, there's one of them using fear to pit 2 Toas against each other. One of the Bionicles yelling, "Yee!" Yeah, let's zoom in on this for a second, because I have the ability to. How well can you see? Oh, it's way too small, but he's just saying "Yee." Like why? I. And then just product shots of the toys. Panarak. Their names are Panarak, Kurak, Lirak, Gurak,
Batroc?
Varak, and Turok. Isn't that right? Like, oh, and there's a promotional for more Lego stuff. Along with Bionicle the game, which was available on PlayStation 2, PC, Pentium 4, Xbox, and GameCube, and Game Boy Advance. And also promo for the movie, The Mask of Light. Because with their powers combined, they could form a Mask of Light to...
Because Power Rangers and Green Lanterns and blah blah blah.
Alright, so now we have
Captain Planet.
Now we have all the Lego pieces. I'm gonna have to start actually building this. And it's gonna... I'd show off the instructions page by page, but...
Some assembly required.
That's the whole point of Lego. So you take this piece... I think you take one of these, shove it in there.
Oh my.
Shut up.
I'm just here to provide stupid commentary.
Yep. Then you take one of these gears, stick it inside, and take another one of these pieces, push it through. Very simple, but that's what I think that's what appealed to me as an 8-year-old, was just how simple they're simplistic for action figures.
When I was 8 years old, I was playing with Legos that were actually just bricks.
Take one of these.
Remember when Legos were bricks?
Somewhat.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Take one of these bricks, plug it in like that.
Plug it in. S.E. Johnson and Family Company.
So you can spin the gear.
You spin me right.
Put that to the side.
Right round.
We have to take this piece and shove 2 of these in it.
Oh my.
And you also have to close it up with one of these black pieces. Like that. Do the same thing on the other side. God damn it, now I've got Rickroll on the mind. And that's all for that step. Oh, but now you have to attach the 2. So, attach like that. So the shoulders can move like that. These are going to be the robot shoulders, or the mech suit, because they're technically mech suits. Also,
Cybernetic organism.
this thing, which is actually the brain, or the thing, the being that's actually alive.
So how is it a mech suit if only the brain is organic? It sounds more like it's
'Cause
RoboCop.
It's the fan wiki calls it a mech suit, but it's like this thing is controlling the body.
Yeah, but then if it's just a brain, then it's not so much a mech suit as it is a cybernetic organism, meaning it probably can't live without it.
And then we have to take another.
Unless it's a Dalek. You just dropped a piece, by the way.
I did.
Yeah.
That always happens. It's been so many years. I've wanted to go back and buy old school Bionicle since I remember seeing them at like one of the geek markets we went to years ago. But like, there's always the idea of my mother in the back of my head because she threw out all my Bionicles long ago. So there's always like that voice in my head like, don't buy them. You know what happened last time. All right, so we attach.
Why did she throw them out?
Just I don't. It was either because we were moving or a reason she didn't tell me. She just did. Because I couldn't. I guess I couldn't decide what to do with them. She also threw out a lot of my old Power Ranger toys I had at that time when we were moving.
Parents love throwing things out. I recall. It's actually. It wasn't even a kid when this happened. This was like maybe a year before I moved out of my old place. My
Take
first
this black
mom.
piece, shove it in.
Like, she has this weird quirk where she hates that little nub end on cucumbers.
What do we do?
But I kept telling her, just give them to me, I'll eat them. They're just part of the cucumber, they're fine. But I was at the kitchen table eating something else. She snuck up behind me, opened the freezer door, and tried to put one of those cut off cucumber end pieces, and I looked behind, what are you doing?
So take this piece, put it on there.
And she was trying to defend herself. She was like, oh, but I have the right to throw out whatever I want. I'm like,
And take this.
right behind me, when I told you I eat those, give it to me, and I just laid it down on her like verbal smackdown, and
Put that in.
yeah, that was that.
And then take this piece, and you have to attach the spine to it.
I swear, some old people get this strange euphoric satisfaction from throwing things out. I don't get it.
It attaches like that. Meanwhile, I'm trying to do this. And attach it with another gray piece.
Yeah, but I'm making your video more interesting.
But is it really?
We'll let the comment section decide.
Indeed. So that closes like that. And then you basically...
Now it has a mohawk.
you put that in there. The little parasite can stay in there and live.
Exterminate.
Oh, and you have to attach the
Exterminate.
translucent piece to the ball joint. It's the only translucent piece of... Yeah, it's the only translucent piece in the whole set. Oh, and then these are its arms. So attach them in there. Attach in there. Now he's got ball jointed arms. Yay! And then you have to attach hands to it, which these things are hands.
Am I the only one who thinks it's starting to look like a droideka from Star Wars Episode 1?
Hand and hand.
You know,
Let me give you a hand.
You know, the little droids that like Bakugan out and form a force field around themselves.
Have to attach his stick, because to make it look like a staff weapon. We'll put that. Apparently, we'll put that to the side. Take a foot. Put the piece. Attach the piece inside the foot. And do the same thing again. So now you have 2 feet ready to go. Now we must attach legs to the 2 said feet. Oh yeah,
The ankle bone connects to the something.
you have to attach it this side up because they won't go in the other way. Attach another one of these, and you have to stick a peg in it. And apparently the picture wants you to put it at that angle. Now we have to do the same thing on the other side. There's a lot of that in Lego.
Yeah, it's called symmetry.
They put out a set recently, a gigantic Lego Voltron.
I don't know much about Voltron aside from the fact that I think it's a ripoff of Power Rangers.
I'm pretty sure it came out in the 80s, but... But it's basically a giant robot made out of 5 cats. So you have to build each cat.
I think I heard about that, but yeah, so it's like the Zords.
Yeah, you build up the cats, and it has proper articulation and everything. It's really expensive, and it looks really cool, but...
So it's like Transformers meets Power Rangers, kinda, sorta.
And then you attach the thigh armor on both sides. And then you get to attach another one of these. Like that. Pop. There you go. You got 2 legs all done. And now you have to attach them like he's in a squatting pose. Yep. There you go. There's your legs. Now
it looks like a droidecon trying to be super edgy.
Now we can attach the face. And attach these. And I believe that's it. And we have 2 pegs left over.
I guess they're spares because they're tiny. I found in a lot of Lego sets that I used to buy, they would have spare parts because they knew you would lose them.
I'm looking... Oh yeah, you can also do combinations if you have multiple. They combine.
Well, of course, like it's like all the collect them all toy tropes smashed into one.
Yeah. I'm looking if I missed anything, but this is pretty much it. He's got a staff that looks like it should shoot fire, but instead shoots fear.
It looks more like ice.
I'm just reading the instructions just because I feel like I shouldn't have missed something, but I don't think I did.
I mean, those spikes on his back, he's just trying too hard. He's trying to be too 90s.
Oh yeah, there they go. They're in. Oh, they do go in the parts right there. I missed that step. It was in the step where you attach these. I just didn't see it. So there we go. We don't have any pieces missing. And yep, there's a Rahkshi, Turahk. I can't remember his name right, but spin, 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 spin. Not really bad attempt at a Darth Maul.
Excuse me a second.
All right, you can use them as individual weapons if you desire. Due to all the ball joints, you can kind of use them as like a... Denied. Articulation-wise, everything's ball joints. So shoulder, elbow, wrist, hip, knee, everything's ball joint, ankle. Now, I don't remember which of these ones specifically I had as a kid, but like I know I was still collecting these to this point, because there's one wave after in the 2004 that I remember having was like a disc firing gimmick, but like he's got some articulation. He's got a neck ball joint. I appreciate the fact that they have light piping. Like that, I think that's another thing that stood out for me as a kid. Like you could, like light piping, you could turn off all the lights and put a light right behind his head, and his eyes would glow. Obviously, he's got a parasite ejecting gimmick, and after some minor technical difficulties,
Called the battery and the camera running out.
Yeah. Overall, these still mean I think I bought it because actually I know I bought it because purely nostalgia. But I still think it's a fun build. It's not that long. Like there's not a lot of pieces, but he's got a lot of joints. You know, I've already mentioned this stuff, but yeah. I mean, if you can find one, I would always recommend them just because, well, they mean a lot to me. And it shows you in the package, well, you can, if you have 3 of them, you can combine them. You can do the same thing with the heroes from the first wave. It also shows you specifically how to fold it up into basically to fit him back in the container. It's just basically have to just squish him.
Droidy car.
And just do Now he's hiding. He's hiding. He's like, don't look at me, I failed. Pop it back in the container. If it'll actually
Failed I have.
Screw off, Yoda. The big spines. I'm trying to get him. There. Come on, go in. Go in, you big doof. There we go. Actually, I'll fit this back inside.
Yeah.
Try and fit everything inside. And also, you can peel. You can peel this off if you want to look inside. It's basically just stickered on. But I think that's it for this. There's a part of me that wants to make Bionicles a much more regular occurring thing on this channel. I am trying to make the Bionicle game play because I think I downloaded an emulator and stuff ROMs to make sure
ROM works. Space Knight. Because this is totally not a rip-off of ROM Space Knight in any way, anyhow, whatsoever. Nope.
It's many homages. It's just
homages or rip-offs? I don't know. Or just tropes. It's tropes. Yeah. At this point, it's just tropes.
It's tropes, but in like a kid-friendly format.
Yeah, but the tropes are primarily kid-friendly format. There's Power Rangers. I wouldn't Digimon,
call
there's
infecting somebody and assimilating them kid-friendly.
Star Fox Assault.
I don't know if that defines kid-friendly, but
well, it's T for teen.
Yeah, that's not a kid. These were made for 7-year-olds. Yep. If you can find one, I think they stopped the original in 2010, and then they rebooted them in 2015. And I've had a hard time actually getting myself to buy the new ones, just because, I don't know, call me a G1er, but I want to I'd rather relive my childhood with the old ones I grew up with than try and get into the new ones.
Call me a pre-G1er, but I liked them when they were bricks. Just multicolored bricks.
And, yeah. Luckily, I found this at the comic book shop for, well, I'm not going to say how much I paid. It was a surprise how much it cost, but I'm not going to say how much I paid. So, yeah, that's it for Turok for today. Hopefully, there'll be more of this kind of thing in the future. So, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. And I don't have a Lego-related ending theme. Keep it brick. keep it brick.
There are no bricks in that set.
There are things that are close to bricks. I doubt you have any bricks.
Well, not Lego bricks.
You brickhead.
But somewhere in here, foam brick. I have it somewhere. I don't know. It's buried
Alright.
under stuff.
Bye. Keep on building Lego.